Right, moving on. I'm going to do the upper body armour, and I'm going to try and cover all the armours across his shoulders, his chest, and including his back. I'll tell you who's won it, firstly. I've given it to the Classic for the simple reason is I do like that they've used the plastic on the strap because there's less chance of it pulling out of the attachments, which that one does in there. The top section of strap will pull out of that hole. I could just glue it and it'd be okay, but like I say, there's no risk of that happening with the Classic. Again, the armour seems cleaner and newer. Moving across. And also, the fact that this chest arm, it don't quite come across far enough for my liking. I prefer it over to the middle. Like if you look at that one, that sort of covers his left peg. Where that one, it only just sort of goes about halfway across his peg. Again, the shoulder armour, a little bit more banged up, but the paint works really good. Again, that's a little bit newer, a lot sharper. Again, on the other shoulder. And on that. Like I said, that one, the piece of armour on his upper arm, and then that hose that comes round, that one doesn't have it. But I've took that into account, and I've still given it to the Classic. Oh, try and get lined up straight. Right. What we're going to wrist computer. Now, trying to. The wrist computer on this one, as you know, there's two of them. One, if you open it, will show the digits, like this one does. Both excellent. Slightly different in design, but not by a long way. But the fact of the matter is, there's two wrist computers on this one. One for the holograms and one that shows the numeric digits for when he's going to self-destruct. I just give it to that one. Although, like I said, this one is good. But the fact that there's two of them, it just makes it slightly better to me. Right, onto shoulder cannons. Just show you both. Both articulate, tilt and swivel. Tilt and swivel. And obviously the stem that they're on. I've picked the best of those. Goes to the Predator 1, just a little bit better articulation, although a little bit loose feeling sometimes. It's also slightly bigger and beefier. So yeah, I lean to that. There's not much in it, but it could be a case that that's a slightly smaller Predator, but it makes his gun look bigger. But yeah, I've just picked that one. That one's probably the better sculpt, but all in all, that one's the better cannon, in my opinion. So yeah, on the shoulder cannon, I've given that to Pred 1. Med pack. No brainer. This one don't come out. Whereas this one does. Obviously it all opens up. I can't do it just left-handed. Let me try for you. Ah, bitch. Come on. Yeah. So that one opens up and slides out. So really nice touch. Now you could include that as one of its extras, and I will mention it when I do extras, but just on the med pack alone, I've given that to the Pred 1. Right, rolling on to extras, accessories, things that came with them. Just to show you, got the battle damaged helmet, 4 spare hands, some hand pegs, 2 holograms, the other wrist computer, the open mandibles, and that's about it on that one. Obviously, this is just the standard edition, same as this is the standard edition. So you got the med pack, obviously what's on his back. Get the open mandibles, only 3 hands with this, and the skull trophy. I do like extras on both, and like I said, they both did come with the awesome stands, but I've got a slightly lean towards the Classic Predator. Obviously, the battle damaged biomask makes a big difference, and I actually prefer the hand sculpts on this one. The more posable, you can put them into different poses with the hands that comes with this one. So yeah, I've picked the Classic Predator. One thing I will mention while I've got the hands out is, if you notice as well, the Classic Predator's gloves are brown, whereas if I show you the Pred 1, they're black gloves. I don't know why, if that is how they wear it in movies, not too sure, but I just thought I'd point it out to you. So yeah, on the accessories or extras, whatever you want to call them, I've given that to the Classic Pred. Right, onto paintwork, and this is paintwork in general, taking into account everything that's painted on it. First thing you notice, they both do have the slimy reptilian look on their head, but as you move down, the classic has it more so on his body, and the original Pred 1, it's not so much. So I don't know if that's that it's faded over time or what the case is, but I just think, all in all, I suppose it's a case of this one's newer, so the paint techniques have moved on. I mean, that's awesome painted. If you bought that figure, you'd be buzzing with it, because it's still fucking awesome now, 2-3 years after it came out. But like I said, the paintwork's moved on slightly, and I just think that's more realistic. Look at his arm, for example. Just fucking slimy as fuck. The graduation from one colour to another, the quills up his stomach, things like that. Look on that one. It's just dotted kind of thing. Still nice, like I said, but in the head sculpt, slightly different colour. You're looking at one-on-one, and like I said, both awesome looking, but it's just noticeable that the classic's slightly better painted. Right, on to articulation. I'm not going to surprise nobody here. Straight away, I'm going to give it to the Pred 1. Better articulation at top of the arm, although it takes away in appearance, I think. The articulation through the stomach, it will do more of a crunch. Better movement through the legs as well. Obviously, the loose knee pads help. A better bend through his leg. I would say even in the feet, that's better, slightly better posable. But I will say, this one is better than I expected it to be. I expected it to be quite rigid like the Falconer, Berserker and Tracker. But that's not the case. It is quite posable, but not as posable as that. So articulation, I've got to give it to Pred 1. Right, one of the most important thing with a Predator figure, the dreads. As I said at the outset, I've just done the dread mod on that. So I've put the band around its face, brought its dreads in, put boiling water over it, and then cooled it straight down, and it brings the dreads in. Other than that, it looks like he's got a fucked off afro. But on the dreads, surprising nobody. The classic absolutely fucking butt fucks this one, because not only are the dreads longer, like they should be, but they actually lay right. I don't know if it's either positioned it in the head or what, but they lay straight down, they sit together nicer than that. That one sort of buffs off its head, sticks straight out like a fucking punk rocker Predator if you want. Like I said, they could have done with being about 1 centimetre longer and lay more in the correct direction, whereas that one, pretty much fucking perfect. I think all the newer Predators, if I'm honest, have got better dreads than the older ones from what I've seen. Probably Wolf aside, Wolves are really good, but in this case, classic kicks Pred 1's ass when it comes to dreads.